And Dr. Carson, your treatment of this last night was masterful. If someone doesn't see what the Scripture has to say about God's holy nation and how His holiness falls down into us from Him, then I don't know that it can be said any clearer than you said it last night.
Well, it's rare that I preach on a passage like that without coming away feeling vaguely discouraged that I've handled a topic so grand so poorly. Because when one, you see, these chaps have now quoted books 1, 2, 3, 4 from Calvin. And he didn't write in a fifth one. So I'm just going to have to go back to quoting the Bible. I mean, But the discussions that we've heard are right. That is, we need more time for the Lord and so forth. But it is important to put a question like where we're falling down in holiness into the huge sweep of who God is and what His purposes are in the sweep of redemptive history through the cross all the way to the new heaven and the new earth. So the reason why we have problems in understanding holiness is, first of all, because we haven't concentrated on God and the gospel. It's as blunt as that. It seems simplistic, but it's the truth. The more you see how to say that God is holy in the tightest sense is to say that God is God. It means we must think through again and again and again who God is. And you can't deal properly with the cross without seeing that the cross is how you reconcile sinners to a holy God. And all that flows from the cross in terms of the transforming power of the Spirit, it comes from the cross because it comes from a holy God. And everything gets tied to that. To magnify the gospel, to magnify Christ, to magnify who God is precisely what we must have. And then everything else works out from that. If you start thinking about the holiness of God and where we're lacking in holiness only in terms of doing stuff or not doing stuff, you retreat to moralism. And sometimes when a culture is declining, then our first inclination sometimes is to go back to law. Now, believe me, there's a place for the law, don't misunderstand me. But the law is not powerful to save. The law will still only condemn. At the end of the day, what empowers the transformation is still the gospel. And that means we must return to God, to Christ, to the cross, to the sweep of redemptive history, or we are undone.